Welcome to the Dirty Tea Podcast. My name is Donna.
And I'm Amanda, and we're excited for you to join us where you'll be served the dirtiest tea.
We are best friends from the Midwest who love other people's drama.
And we'd rather spill your tea on air than behind your back.
So feel free to submit your dirty tea for us to read on air.
Or sit back, fill your cup with whatever tickles your fancy, and get ready for the mess.
All right. Well, happy week, everybody. I hope you is having a good week. She's over there yawning like she's had a rough day. But yeah, I hope you're having a good week so far. The weekend's coming up and we are excited.
The weekend can't be here any faster.
This week has gone by so slow.
I feel like it actually, yesterday went by fast. Today went by fast. So I hope that the rest of the week just goes by fast. But it's just been a shitstorm. But we're here.
And
we're kicking
ready.
it.
Ready for another week of dirty tea. Are you ready?
I'm so ready it hurts.
You know what? Let's pause. I always feel like I always jump right in. How about you do it this time? Like, you start brewing the tea and shit.
Okay. No, I don't mind starting things off and getting things a little spicy. Okay. So here's a great one to just kick things off. Is my girlfriend implying that my dick is small? Question mark. So this guy, he starts off saying, I think I'm pretty average, about 6 inches, he said 5.25 around. Like, I don't know what that means. That sounds like a pretty girthy dick.
Wait, you said 5.25 around? Like, so he's literally taking a measuring string and like, let's try to get it as hard as I can so we can make this girthy.
Like, I've heard of people measuring the length, but not like the girth, This motherfucker was doing the math, trying to find the circumference of his dick, everything.
I'm obsessed with it.
Okay. Right. He's big worried. Okay. So he said he started dating this girl and they were laying in bed one night. And she randomly mentioned to him like how her and her friends were talking about dicks the other day. And she told him that they were talking about if size matters and they couldn't come to a consensus. Like they all couldn't agree. So he said he went quiet because he didn't want to ask if he measured up to like what her expectations are. And she never said anything either.
Yeah.
So then it was like, he was like, it was a weird, awkward silence, but then they moved on. And then the next morning they were talking and then he was like, made a joke about how her ankles were skinny. And then she looked at him and said, oh, I didn't know size mattered to you so much. And basically he like felt salty as hell after that. And now he's like, is she implying something? Like, is she trying to say that my dick is small? Like, so he's all in his feelings, but.
So he's probably already insecure about his little ungirthy dick.
Right. Because, okay, think about it from like a girl's perspective. If I were to talk to a guy about like just openly like, yeah, me and my girl, we were talking about dick sizes, like that's a jab. Low key, come on now. She wouldn't have brought that shit up if he had that big dick energy.
Right.
You know that.
Right. No, she would have been just so proud of it and been able to like talk about it and stuff.
Yeah. She would have been like, oh yeah, I told my friends that you got the biggest dick, and no, she ain't say shit, which basically means yes, your dick is small.
Right. She just didn't want her to say shit. Also, I can also get it from her side. I mean, like, I don't know, maybe you wouldn't talk about your partner's size, especially if you're in a serious relationship, in front of your friends. It's just, for me, that's just part of, like, if it's like a fuckboy or someone that you're just casually dating, that's different. But if you're in a serious relationship, I don't think that it should be brought up. Unless you're kind of like just casually talking about it, or whatever, making a little slight joke. But I wouldn't be like, guys, guess what? Well, my fiance, his dick is this size. Like, I would never do that.
Right. Yeah. There's certain boundaries, like you said, like it depends on the relationship.
Right.
And for all we know, she was probably looking at him like he's just a fuckboy. So,
so that's
like, because I be saying some off the wall shit sometimes to dudes, like just because I don't care, like, how they feel about it. And when you don't care about what their thoughts are or whatever you say, then you
Be
just
sharing
say
the
crazy
most.
shit.
You'll be sharing
You
the most.
know?
Like, it's curved this way, it's curved that way. There's too much hair. One of the
Like
balls
he
is
had a
crooked.
mole.
One of the
Bitch,
balls
I
is
will tell
lopsided.
if it's somebody I really don't give a fuck, I would give you like the full breakdown, like tell you the sounds he was making, like everything, you know? But then again, like I really don't have much to share because I'm a virgin. So I mean, I'm pretty inexperienced.
I wonder how long you're gonna go along with this virgin story. And even
For as
after
long as I remain
you
a virgin.
even after you have kids, is like Amanda the Virgin.
Yeah. I'll be like, you know, some people are just meant to be virgins. Like, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Says once a year I sleep with my husband's brother, who is also married, during a business trip, quote unquote.
Ah, so she sleeps with her
Husband's
brother-in-law.
brother, her brother-in-law, once a year.
Damn. And he's married too.
He's married.
So then I wonder, do they work at the same place where they can get away with
Probably.
saying that it's a businsis trip? Because
Probably.
that's fucked up. And
That's
then, and
messy
then
as
why
hell.
are you making a tradition out of it? Like once a year.
It's like it
That's
is a
fucked up.
tradition, isn't it? It's like, it's the annual fuck back.
I wonder, yeah, like do they do it on the same day each year? You know? That's scandalous.
That is super scandalous. And then for like, I mean, I know it's a secret, but for her to like, man, I would never be able to do something like that. Because I think for me, immediately they become family, like a brother.
Right. Exactly.
You know, you think about like, become immediate brother, like they're an immediate brother.
Because your kids are cousins, so that means your kids are related to this person.
Yeah. Well,
so then
kids are not. Kids are not like. So, for example, like I would never look at my fiance's brother in any way, shape, or form other than now he's my brother too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that's just wrong. Like that's gross as hell.
Right. Oh, incest ass bitch. Like, what are you gonna do? Like when you have, fuck around and get pregnant by the dude, and then you're gonna have to explain to your kids why their cousin is also their brother.
Uncle Daddy, like you
said. For real.
Literally Uncle Daddy. Okay. This one says, the perfume I got my wife, I got it for her because it smells like my ex. For the record, it's because it smells awesome, but she wouldn't be down with it if I explain it to her. I'm pretty sure I'm unhappy with her, but every time I try to bring it up, she gets upset and we just fight. I just really care about her family, though.
What the fuck? He's sending so many mixed signals. Okay, so first of all, you bought the perfume that reminds you of your ex, but you guys argue all the time, but you love her family more than her.
So he's staying in the relationship because he loves her family, and so he douses the relationship with perfume that reminds him of his ex.
So weird. Who does that?
The perfume. Like every time he sees her running low, he probably just runs out and buy a bottle just to cover
right. And she's probably like, oh, he treats me so good. He buys me perfumes, elegant perfumes all the time. Low key, that motherfucker's creeping into his ex's house to see what perfume she's using, and then buying it for his new girl because he's obsessed.
Every night he's cowered in the corner of the shower, sucking his thumb, crying because he hates his life.
Well, her family is so great.
Rocking back and forth of her family. and
he's like, I can't stand this bitch, but her family, like, just doesn't make sense. Okay, I have one.
Okay.
So he asked me to shave his arms. Not his arms, but her arms. He asked her to shave her own arms. Not her armpits.
Wait, he asked her if he could shave her arms? Her armpit?
He asked her to shave her own arms. Not her armpits, like her arms. So she's saying that her boyfriend invited him over to his aunt's wedding, and it was like, a formal event. So apparently they were driving, and then he looked over at her arms and asked why he kept her arm, like why did she keep her hairs, like her arm hairs like so hairy or so long. And he asked her to shave it before the wedding to tidy herself up. And that he didn't find it appealing, he didn't find it attractive. But then he said it's not something that she has to do just for the wedding, you know, so that she looks nice. And then apparently he made a joke that he should have left her. She said he made a joke that he should have left me with the gorillas at the zoo when we went because I would blend in. I'm sorry, that's fucked up. Okay. So she's like, no one's ever, you know, pointed out my arm hair. She said it's very lightly covered. It's not like it's super long. She's like, she used to be very self-conscious about any type of body hair. But as long as but she like had stopped worried about it. But now, like, she's worried about it again because her boyfriend just told her, shave them beasts. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy, especially just because it's arm hair. Like, okay, I'm looking at my arm hair right now, and I don't have very much at all. But I think it's normal for arm hair. If it's like, for me, I know everybody has their opinion about armpit hair. Armpit hair, I can understand. If
right.
you know, I get it. Some people like to not shave, which is cool, teach their own. But I can understand if it's armpit hair where he's like, yeah, you know, arm hair? Come on.
Right.
That's
like petty.
That's super petty. And then to make
a comment
that he should have left her.
Right. I mean, I laughed at that because it was kind of fucking hilarious. But but like, come on, like it's not like his aunt is gonna be like, oh, this is the girl you brought over here, the bitch with the fucking long arm hair? Like, really?
Yeah, I think he is super petty with that. Me, I'm super petty. I would have said something back about him. I would have said something back about his look.
I would have broke up with him. I'd have been like, bitch, you don't like my arm hair? I'm gonna find a dude that's gonna lick my arm hair, bitch. Like,
and you know what? Like, okay, so in our culture, like arm hair represent, like the more like arm hair, the thicker they are and stuff, it represent like wealth and prosperity. Like if you have like dark, thick arm hair, well, you don't want it to grow out in where you can braid it, but bitch, you broke. She's looking at her.
I'm like looking at my arm hair. I'm like, this shit ain't long enough.
Not long enough neither. I'm a broke bitch. It does represent like wealth and prosperity, you know, like that's just how kind of old wives' tale, maybe like that. But yeah. Well,
you know what? She needs to leave him because she's destined for great things with her long ass arm hair, and she just doesn't even realize it yet. She's blocking her blessings. Like,
yeah, and she needs to block him.
Period.
So. Okay, this one says, my wife used to have an issue wetting the bed when she was a teenager. And I think, you know, she thinks she's outgrown it. Okay, so get that. She thinks she's outgrown it. Now, when she wets the bed, I wake up first, I pee on the bed too, and I tell her it was all me.
Wait, okay, so she doesn't know that she's peeing herself?
She thinks she's outgrown it.
Oh, but she's still doing it, and then he pees in the bed just to make her
not feel
think
bad
that it was him.
So they both sleeping in like pee infested bed with both of their fucking urine, being nasty asses.
So stupid. So wait, okay, why is he peeing in the bed just to make her think that her pee was actually his pee? Why can't he just lie and be like, oh, I peed in the bed? When in reality, you know, it's really her pee. Why does he have to fucking pee in the bed too? Like, if you're disgusted by it, why would you do it to make her feel better?
Part of me was like, oh, that's sweet. But then being that it's pee, no, that's not sweet. That's nasty as fuck. You tell the bitch, hey, maybe at night, let's wear like some Depends or something. And let's not pee in the bed. So I don't have to pee in the bed. Because now they're both sleeping, and God knows how many times the pee has been soaked in the bed has been soaked in pee. That's disgusting. That's Girl. Just you just don't. That's okay. There's some things to be said about what you do for love, but you're not doing that. That's not love.
That's not love. That's like a fucking violation. It's disgusting. It's fucking weird. Like, who does that? Like, oh, I just wanted to make you feel better, so I pissed the bed too.
So
Like,
I pee too.
bitch. No, if she was smart, then she would have woke up and been like, now you know I'm trying to stop peeing the bed. Why would you start peeing the
Right.
bed?
Now they're both
You know?
encouraging each other to pee in the bed.
This is a
Nasty
pissy
asses.
ass house. Just
Oh,
imagine what that house smells like.
yuck. And then they have kids, and the kids think it's okay to pee in their bed. So now the whole house, the whole damn family's peeing in their own beds. Yuck. And I hope they're replacing the mattresses too, because knowing their nasty ass, they probably don't.
You know they ain't replacing that mattress. That mattress got piss. It's got mildew. Like, you gotta think about that. Like, your mattress can't just like air dry from that shit. Like,
Yuck.
ugh. I wonder if they have like waterproof like bed liners or something like
No.
that.
Then they're both laying in like puddles of pee. Come on.
I just
yuck.
Okay, that's disgusting.
Nasty as hell.
Okay, I have one. Am I an asshole for blowing up at my boyfriend for finishing an entire tub of sour cream in one day?
What the fuck?
So basically she's like, I'm literally crying right now because I'm wondering if I'm overreacting. So she's like, basically that she has to budget, and every week they like have like a grocery plan where she plans out meals and everything because groceries are expensive. So she says that her boyfriend pays for like 30% of the groceries, she pays for the majority of it, but he pays more for the utilities, so it evens out. So that's kind of how they balance things in their household. But she says, however, I always tell him if he wants additional food or if he's still hungry, he can get it himself because they're not portion restricted, but she like, buys specific things for the meals that she's going to make. So she bought like a regular size, tub of sour cream, and it was supposed to be used on 3 different meals. And she told him that. And she, sorry, and she came home to make dinner, and she said the whole thing was gone, and she said not even used for one meal. He just snacked on it throughout the day.
He snacked on a tub of sour cream.
I don't know what he was doing. Was he like spooning that shit, dipping a chip in it? I don't know. But a whole thing of sour cream, I know his stomach was bubbling. I know he was shitting.
You know this motherfucker got bubble gut. Like
for real.
Big time bubble gut. Cause you don't eat, a little bit of it, it messes with your insides.
Yeah. A fucking whole tub in one day. Like, and you're just grazing on some fucking sour cream. Like, there's not other things to eat in the house. Bitch shouldn't have no leftovers in there. Like, there's nothing else to eat but some sour cream.
Damn. So, okay.
She said that she blew up and she started crying, and, like, they had, like, a huge argument over it.
Oh, my
This is just...
First of all, I would never deprive my baby of sour cream or his favorite food. So I will budget for 2 tubs. But I will also be like, when you have that bubble gut, don't be turning my way. Like, don't be in my area, my vicinity. Secondly, sour salty.
I'd be like, what can we pair with that sour cream so that you can get more full?
Just a spoonful.
Like, that's so gross. I mean, I love me some sour cream. I'm not gonna lie, I can indulge the fuck out of some sour cream, but like with a burrito, like like
or something that is like a pairable food.
Yeah.
Tub is gone. He's eating it he's like eating it with a spoon, and that's disgusting because it's basically sour milk.
Like thick sour milk.
Ugh. She's sitting there crying about sour cream. It sounds stupid that she's crying over it, but it is legit makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Right. Like half and half.
Yeah, it makes sense for the reason that she's talking about in terms of like the principle of it. You know what I mean? Like knowing that she has to cook with it, knowing that they're already on a budget, but I mean, low-key, she kind of is overreacting. She is overreacting. Like, come on, it's fucking sour cream.
Yeah, she's definitely overreacting. But could you imagine his health eating that whole tub of sour cream?
He did it this time, it ain't the first time. So I know that bitch can't be that surprised. Like, a person who can eat a whole thing of sour cream in one day Like, that's not like something that just, oh, let me try this out.
They
You
built
know?
a tolerance to it. It's a
Right.
long time. It's a long time. And what is it? It's been in the making to build
Exactly.
a whole tub of sour cream.
Right. That's his guilty
Yeah.
pleasure.
Okay. So as with all episodes, we introduce to you the poop episode. Okay.
Oh yeah.
This one says, my wife doesn't know that I know her secret. When we first started dating, it was long distance. One time she visited me for 4 days, but I had to work during one of those days. While I was gone, she had to take a dump, but clogged the toilet really badly. She couldn't get it to plunge. It was freaking out. So she went to the kitchen, got a fork and a plastic bag, and dug the turd out of the toilet bowl and threw everything out in the dumpster out in the back. She called her friend panicking, and the friend thought it was hilarious. Years later, the friend told me about it. I find it funny, but I don't want to embarrass her, so I'll never tell her that I know.
Man, I'd be like, yo, shitty ass. The big monster turds couldn't even go down the toilet. You had to fucking slice that shit up with a fork and a steak knife.
When you gotta
like,
break it up, when you gotta break
that's
it
a
with a
problem.
fork, that's a problem.
Like, bitch, what did you eat?
You know they ate because she was visiting for 4 days, so he took her to the finest. You know,
No, what
he
happened was
got paid for it.
she was probably like, cause you know, like when you're dating someone, you don't want them to know you're pooping, so she was just holding it and holding it and holding it, and it got so hard that it didn't want to go down the toilet.
Yeah.
So
she was probably constipated and waited for the day for him to go to work, and then she let it all go. She let it blow, and
girl,
it blew.
the fucking dog was probably like running away from the bathroom.
Right.
Damn, bitch. Why you use the fork though? Like, I hope she threw the fork away afterwards too.
This nasty bitch. Oh my god.
And the fact that he knows about it, if she didn't throw the fork away, hopefully he did, Maybe that's what happens, like, when you think about it, like, you always lose, like, forks and spoons and shit.
They're taking your fork and
maybe it's your guest, yeah, when they come over and they're doing some scandalous shit, and they're like, you know what, I gotta scoop this fucking turd out the toilet and throw it out the window.
Yeah.
But unfortunately for guests at my house, my bathroom window doesn't open. So I'm gonna watch you as you carry that turd.
Wait, so do you have like a little jar that has like plastic forks in there? Just
just in case. In the bathroom. Yeah.
In case of emergency.
Okay. This person says, my boyfriend called me loose during sex and I am heartbroken. I'm not sure what to do. Isn't that so loose mean?
During sex?
During sex. And on top of that, they hadn't had sex in about a month before before this even happened. Isn't that crazy?
Wait, is this the couple with the little dick?
No.
Maybe no. Hold on. I'm siding with the girl this time. Maybe his dick is little.
Okay, so there's backstory. So she said that he like took her out on a date, bring her like roses. She's never gotten flowers from him before. They get home, they get in the bed, ready to have sex. She brings out a little toy, which he ended up hiding under the pillow, which I don't know why. Okay. But they did some foreplay, and she asked for the toy. He gave it to her, and then she was using it. Then they start doing it and everything, and then like he like stops like right before they're about to like really get into it. He's like, wait, what have you been doing out here? You're really loose. Isn't that so fucked up? Isn't that so fucked up? So now you're in the middle of getting hot and heavy, and then he just, wait, what have you been doing?
Right.
You are really loose.
You're just
and
really
I'd be like, you are really dumb. Get the fuck off of me.
Right. And if she let him sit there and finish, then she's the dumb one. Because I would have been like, get off of me. If I'm so loose, get off of me. Period. That's it.
She was like, needless to say, I got pissed, and she was like, I got up, and then he was like, no, I still want to have sex. And
don't
she's
know.
like, how can I say that? Like, how can, we do anything when you just said that? Like, and then he starts an argument. It's like, everything's always my fault. I can't do anything right.
Oh my
And
God.
girl, but they only been together for 9 months at this point, like in their relationship, but like, girl, that's just something like that's just common sense. You don't say things like that.
Right.
Even if it did feel loose, like
Call it a
just keep
loss.
yourself.
Right. It's only 9 months. You haven't celebrated a 12-year calendar of holidays with them yet. It's only been 9 months. Call it a loss. And boy, bye. It's not even worth it. It's not like you have invested so like time and energy and all that.
Right.
No. Bye. Not even worth it. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So one says, I lived a double life with another partner for 6 years out of our 12-year marriage. Same city, used a different name, 2 wardrobes, 2 sets of friends. I was exhausted. No kids, thank God. I was incredibly selfish. Neither of them know I'm in therapy now.
Sounds like you need some therapy after some shit like that. Why do people do shit
with my
like
one
that?
life? Like,
right.
Let me handle my life and, live my best life with one life.
Right. And just imagine like all the lies you have to tell. Like,
oh my God.
The stories that you tell to one person and then you be like, tell it to another person and they'd be like, bitch, you already told me this. And then do you have to like change up things? Like, that's a lot of work.
So she lives in a big ass city. But if you live in an city, you're going to run into people that you know, or you're going to go into the same restaurants and stuff that waitresses.
Right.
That's
what would you do? What would she do if she's at a restaurant and then she sees 2 of her close friends from her other life, and they come up there like Jessica, but her name is fucking Sarah, with dude she's with now, and then, you gotta act like you don't know them, and then they want to fight you because, you're being fake.
Right. No, she probably act like she's a doppelganger, but that's a lot of work to pretend to live 2 lives in the same city. That's, first of all, that's fucking bold as fuck. And then last, 2 different names, 2 wardrobes, 2 sets of friends. And this bitch, it has to have notes. You have to have notes.
Right.
Otherwise, you would get everything cross-wired.
That's like some movie shit, like some fucking like serial killer type shit. That bitch, you can't trust a person like that.
Yep.
Literally, you can't. Yeah, no.
Nope. I wouldn't even trust them with jack shit. Like, you couldn't even
no.
Because
if you're willing to lie and like to literally lie about everything about yourself, like
your whole life,
to the point where you're changing your clothes, you know what I mean? Probably changing her taste in music. Like,
this bitch is probably changing her personality.
Yeah.
That's like some scary bitch. Continue your therapy and be single.
Right.
Well, she did it for 6 years out of her 12-year marriage.
Now, what she needs to do is create another personality that she can date for herself, and then she can just take herself out and leave everybody else out of it, because the bitch sound problematic. So, you just gotta leave people like that alone. All right. So this one says, I had a nightmare roommate. I let a lot of things go, but her behavior got worse. The final straw was when she borrowed my car, and then caused $1,000 worth of damage, and then bought it back with the bill. Like,
what?
Okay, bitch, that's bold. So you gonna fuck up my car, get it fucking quoted for how much to fix it, and then bring it back?
Give me the bill.
But I believe it. I've seen people do shit like that before, so I believe it.
I'm sure.
So then she said, after months of back and forth about the bill and about breaking our lease, all while going through some tough personal shit, the day came when they were moving out. She wasn't there, but her laptop was, because she was using it to like play music. So what she did, which this is so fucking stupid, like I feel like a fucking 12-year-old wrote this. She said she selected all on iTunes and then changed every song title and every artist name and every album name to her name. So she just put her name over it for everything that's on her iTunes. So now she would have to she don't know what song she's listening to. And I'm like, what a minor fucking inconvenience.
That's
Yeah, I'd have been like, if you gonna fucking go all out, bitch, I'd have bought a bunch of shit on iTunes.
Yeah.
I'd have fucking snapped her laptop in half. I would
Sold
have
the
fucking
laptop for that to pay that bill.
right. I'd have fucking took pictures and held it for ransom and sent her like magazine cutout letters and shit. Like, you mean to tell me that this bitch borrowed your car, aka stole your shit, caused $1,000 worth of damage, and all you did was change the damn name of her songs on her iTunes playlist?
He was too nice. I'm just glad that I'm never on the receiving end of that, because all hell will break loose. That's messed up. That, I mean, like you said, there are probably people out there with the audacity to bring you the bill and say, "Hey, dude, I borrowed your car, got in an accident.
Right.
Here's $1,000 bill. Good luck." No.
Right. And she thought she did her big one too. Like, yeah, bitch, I changed all the songs. And her roommate was probably like,
and
okay, like, who
right.
uses iTunes anyway? Like, come on now.
Yeah, nah. Okay, so this one says, I'm happily married. Me and my wife have 3 children. Before I met my wife 7 years ago, I had a girlfriend in a different city. Just this year, she decided to tell me that she was pregnant right before I left. In May, I went back there and did a DNA test. The 7-year-old girl is my daughter. What should I do? I want to give the same love to all my kids. How should I address this with my wife? And I don't want to destroy my marriage.
Yeah.
But this is before he met his wife.
Before he got married. But I mean, at the same time, like, his wife could probably, I mean, she has every right to be upset and to not want to continue on. Like, because even though it happened before him, like, that's a child. You know, that's a whole nother life that you have to take into consideration. And he didn't cheat, he didn't do anything wrong, but like, now you have to, like, basically, she has to sign on to have, you know, your husband's love child, like, for the rest of your life.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, sometimes it's hard for me because, like, I've been single for so long where I really don't give a fuck about anybody else, but, like, honestly, myself. Like, and that's okay because I'm single, you know. But, like, you know, so if it was me right now, current state, I'd be like, oh, get rid of that motherfucker. But, like, you know, if you're married to a person, you have children with them, like, that's a tough call. Like, you can't just like drop everything and just be like, you know what?
I know. And plus, he did it before he met her, so technically he wasn't cheating on her, but she has to now shift. They not just her. They have to shift their whole life.
Right.
Now that he has a 7-year-old daughter, you know.
Yep. And think about it too. Like, what if the baby mom is like a petty bitch, and then now they have all their finances together from him and his wife, and then now she wants to go after him for child support, and then it's like she's gonna have to be financially responsible for a child that she had nothing to do with either.
Damn.
So yeah. I mean, and I don't know how shit like that works, but I mean, that's just an overall shitty situation.
Right. Oh my God. Now that you really like sit and think about it, you're like, damn, you couldn't even be mad. You couldn't be mad.
You can't,
at the situation. Like, you couldn't even be mad at the situation. I wouldn't even know what I would do. To be honest, I would probably look at myself and be like, because at the end of the day, you have to take care of yourself. And that goes for anything, right? Am I ready to be a stepmom to a 7-year-old child that I didn't know of that happened before me? Am I ready to deal with a baby mama? Am I ready to deal with him spending time with her and excluding, or, you know, and including that child into our family? Am I ready for all that? Are my kids ready for all that?
Right.
And then how are you going to explain to your kids?
Exactly. And then you also think, like,
you know,
like, think about it too. Like, if your man were to come up to you and tell you that he has another child that's 7 years old, you know, like, your first thought is like, well, what the fuck happened? Like, have you known this whole time? You just never said anything. Like, you know, like, when shit like that happens, like, your mind immediately goes to like the worst possible case scenario.
The deceit and the lies and stuff. Even though it may not be the case, it's the deceit and the lies.
Right.
Okay, so this one says, legit question. My husband gets down hard mad at me if I take a shower without him. When I shower without him, always it's always like I don't love him anymore, or I'm cheating on him, when all I want to do is get clean. I told him he's being manipulative and controlling. What do you guys think? Am I the one going crazy, or what's going on?
No, he's definitely being manipulative and controlling.
He's being controlling and manipulative.
Yeah. Why can't you take a shower without him? Like,
Right. Sometimes you
why
just
do
gotta
you
wash that booty hole by yourself, you know?
right? And you can't really clean how you want to clean yourself when you're showering with another person. So that means that they're like half cleaning their asses like
Because when you're
together.
taking a shower with somebody, you want to be sexy, you want to be cute.
Right.
You ain't going on and cracks and crevices to clean all that shit out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, and what about like when she's like on her period? Like, who wants somebody else in the shower with them when they're
Right.
doing
And that's all
shit like
that dripping shit.
Disgusting. So I have another one. So it says, I have been online dating with my girlfriend for a few years and have been staying together for a year now. I was planning on marrying her, but she recently told me that she lied about her age. What do you think I should do?
Wait, recap that.
He's been dating her, like they've been online dating for a few years. And then they moved in together. So they've been staying together for about a year now. And he like wants to marry her, but she initially told him that she was a different age. And then now that they live together.
Okay, how much?
So okay, here's the kicker. They've been talking for 4 to 5, like he said, 4 to 5 years is how long they were talking online, and then they just moved in with each other a year ago. So you gotta think, like, if you're talking online for 4 years and she kept that a secret from him for 4 years because she lied on her profile. So he said they've been so last year he moved to her city, and they've been living together ever since he got there. And then he said everything was going great until he found out that she was lying about her age. So when he initially started talking to her, he was 26 years old, and she told him that they were the same age. And then once he moved, like relocated states to move to live within her or to live with her, she told him that she was actually 44 years old.
What?
Isn't that crazy?
What?
It's crazy, right?
That's crazy. Is he?
So that means when she started dating him, she was like in her like upper 30s.
Yeah.
And she was lying and telling him that she was like 26.
Oh my God. So he literally got himself a cougar.
Right.
And he's robbing the cradle. Damn. So I wonder how he feels now, like after he knows that her real age, if he's ready to deal with, is he ready to, oh my God. And then you've invested 4 years.
Right. But at the same time, like the 4 years that he's invested was him talking to her online. So it's not like he was putting in like time, like in person, one-on-one time. Yeah. Like your conversation was you basically being a pen pal for 4 years.
I think for me, that's a huge red flag. Because if you're lying about your age, for me, what else you're lying about? Age is a huge thing. And
exactly.
I mean, I get that like 1-2 years. I get that. That's an easy pass. But that's a whole like 20 years about.
Yeah. Well, not 20 years, but
20 years. Yeah. Because 15. 15.
He
told you, bitch, can't do math. Even if I'm Asian, I can't do math. I'm telling you.
But I mean, I don't know. I think that it's just like you said, like if she'll lie about that, and especially for that long, then that means that she'll lie about anything. And now the bitch can keep a secret.
Yeah.
So like that's just even more reason for you not to fuck with her.
Yep. All right, guys. So tonight's or today's discussion post is says, okay, question. A gay dude offered my man $400 to give my man head. He said no, absolutely not. Me, okay. I'm like, what does it matter? All you got to do is lay back, bust a nut, and get a little pocket change. Now he's mad at me for not even entertaining the idea. What would you guys do? You're not
I
having
would be
sex.
mad too.
You're not. You're
I
just.
would be mad too.
Would you?
Like, yeah, because basically that's you're trying to pimp your fucking partner out then. Like, okay, so just because somebody offered you money to do it, like, yes, it would be, like the sensation is gonna be good, right? But like it's just weird. Like that's fucking weird. Like, why don't you just go ahead and do it? Like, you don't gotta do nothing except for busting that, and then you get
Is that all your
$400.
man's
Like,
worth? Is $400?
exactly. Like you're just that fucking like that quick. That bitch is ready. Like, like yeah, no, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. We need that $400.
He's like, no, baby, please don't make me do it, baby.
She's like, what did I say about pulling out her pimp hand? She's like, about to slap the shit out of him. Go over there and get your dick sucked, get that $400, and then you give it to mama.
$400.
Mama needs a new pair of shoes.
Right.
Go over there and give me my money.
And you know what? For if he does let it happen, it becomes for her, it becomes a high, and it may not stop.
Right. Exactly. Then she really is going to become his pimp. Because that's how people get into like these messy, weird ass situations where like I was watching this show. It's on Netflix, and it's actually a really good show. But there's a part in there where like one of the actors, like she plays a wife, she's married to her husband, and she like hires prostitutes to come into her house, and like she'll have them like sit down and have dinner with her husband and like pretend that they're her and like, oh, how was your day? Like, oh, my day was so hard, and like this is what I had to deal with, and like she literally sits in the chair and watches and like masturbates off to it. People are so fucking weird, dude. Like, I'm telling you, shit like that probably happens all the time. Because there are people that like to watch.
Right.
Like that's their thing.
Oh my God.
Have you ever met somebody that likes to watch?
No.
I don't think I have either. Well, I know I haven't because I haven't let anybody watch me do it. But like, like it's just weird. Like, why would you want to like have somebody like sitting in the corner like oh yeah, like just watching you? Like that's gross. It's so weird.
What would you call that? Like a fetish or a fantasy?
I think it's like a fetish, like a voyeur. Isn't that what they call it?
Voyager, like a voyage, like a
is that a voyeur.
Voyeur, is that what?
I think so. I think that's what they call it. Yeah, where they like they like to like sit in the chair.
Just watch.
Okay, actually, it's never happened to me. And hopefully the girl that I knew somebody who like her husband was like a watcher, and she would tell me, and I'm remembering this because it was from back when I lived in another city, and she would tell me that like she would fuck other guys, and then her husband would literally sit there and watch. Like he liked to watch. And like that was a part, like their relationship was open because like that's was their thing.
No, I'm too jealous for that shit. Like fuck that,
girl. Literally, they say to each their own, but like there are just some things where it's like I couldn't. That's why I say I'm not a freaky bitch. I can't do that weird shit. Like, give me just the basic regular. I don't need no extra fetishes. I don't want you sucking on my toes. Like, I don't want you shaving my
sometimes
legs.
I don't even wash my feet, like before doing it.
Like, motherfucker, I've been walking around all over the floor and you want to put my toes in your mouth? Like, ew.
God.
Super gross.
Okay. Well, I mean, they literally to each their own, I guess. But
I know you're into that kind of shit, Donna, but like, just like keep it to yourself next time, okay? I don't need to know everything about you.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? You know what I know. I mean, whatever I'm telling you is what's happening. So I'm definitely not into that shit.
All right, everyone. Well, we appreciate everybody stopping by and listening to the Dirty Tea podcast. Want to remind everybody that next week we're going to be releasing our spooky episode. So make sure you submit.
No, it's not next week. Oh yeah, it is next week. It is next week. Yep. So please submit them.
Scary stories.
Yep. And then so we won't do any dirty dirt. We will just do spooky stories.
Maybe we'll find some spooky dirty stories.
Spooky dirty stories. Like spooky, like dirty, like dirt gone wrong or something like that.
Right. Like a ghost cheating on its ghost wife.
Right.
Ooh.
And then another ghost comes in and they just fight it out.
Right.
Okay.
I'd pay to see that. Anyway, all right,
Okay.
everybody. Thanks again and have a great day.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.